Welcome to Mydbops Opensource Database Meetup16 recorded live in Bangalore. Mydbops excels in open source database management, offering tailored solutions for MySQL, Postgres, MongoDB, TiDB, Cassandra, and more. Mydbops organizes meetups to facilitate knowledge sharing, networking, and collaboration among professionals in the field of open source database management. Coming back to the recording, Mydbops was thrilled to present Vignesh Prabhu, a database expert at Mydbops, who dived deep into read-write splitting using MySQL Router. He explored the power of read-write splitting, a technique that significantly improves database performance and application scalability. This session offered valuable insights for anyone interested in database management. Let's dive into the recording of Vignesh's insightful presentation.
Yeah, hi guys, good afternoon. In this session, so we are going to see about how MySQL router is doing a read-write split, and then we are going to see how MySQL router is achieving a high availability. And before going to the topic, let me introduce myself. So I have a six plus years of experience. I have joined Mydbops at first, and then I have completed certifications on MySQL, and I have also hold a certification on AWS Cloud Architect. And currently, I have been working with MySQL migration and upgradation, and then MySQL architecture changes. And it is a short intro about ourselves. So we have two services. One is managed, and another one is consulting. So we are doing the services for many DBs like MySQL, Postgres, Mongo, TiDB, and Cassandra. Yeah, so this is going to be the agenda of today. So first of all, we will see the introduction of MySQL router, and then we'll go for the MySQL router routing strategies. That was introduced in 8.0, and then we will go for MySQL native read-write split, which was introduced in the latest version, that is 8.3. And then we will see the difference, like comparison between the load balancer, which are available for the MySQL in the market. Yeah. So as an introduction of MySQL routers, so as a DBA, we all use as a load balancer for balancing the connections on the load. So MySQL router is one of that. And MySQL router is part of a InnoDB cluster. So InnoDB cluster, if you want to sort an introduction about the InnoDB cluster, it is a high-availability solution for in the MySQL. So basically, in a InnoDB cluster, it should have a 3-node of MySQL server. And how MySQL router is act is like on top of the InnoDB cluster, it will we have to keep the MySQL router, and it will do a transparent routing between the application to the DB servers. So whenever the MySQL cluster is going down, if any of our node like secondary or primary is going down, it will automatically take the data from the view of the InnoDB cluster to the MySQL router. So that's how it is providing a high availability solution. Yes. So why we have to go for MySQL router? So the first thing is auto failover. So based on that cluster view, it will do the auto failover, and also if you want to add more nodes, then it will automatically detect the nodes, and it will with the zero configuration changes, it will automatically add. So it doesn't require any restart or any manual changes. So it will automatically get everything from that config itself, the InnoDB config itself. Okay, so these are the features which are available in the MySQL router, and so basically it provides a high availability for MySQL cluster and then MySQL replica set that we will discuss in the later slides. And then there are routing strategies which are introduced in 8.0.4, and there are we'll see it in the next slides. And then to configure a MySQL router, it should be very much useful. So for that, they have introduced a bootstrap functionality. And also it is a cross-version compatibility. It means that we can use a lower version of a MySQL router with a higher version of MySQL servers, and then vice versa. Okay. So there are 4 types of routing strategies which are available in MySQL router. The first one is first available. The next one is next available, and then round robin, and then round robin with fallback. So to understand the routing strategies better, so actually how MySQL router routes the uses the routing strategy is we have to understand destinations. So in the destinations, we can able to give the servers, like what are the servers we are going to route the traffic. So in this example, I have taken 3 servers, like one is like 114 and 222 and 242. So we will see how routing strategy is working in each case. So first of all, like first available. In first available, so if you have a 3 servers, and then like all the servers, so in the order, so whatever the server which is available first, it will route all the traffic to the first server. So whenever the first server is going down, and then it will route the traffic to the next server. So yeah, in the second diagram we can see that. And whenever the first server is coming back online, then it will again route back all the traffic to the first server. So this is how the first available will work. Yeah, so next available. So it is similar to first available. So where it changes is like after changing to the second server, even though like first server is coming back to online, it will not actually like go back, it will not go route back that connections to the first server. So it is still persists in the second server. So this is the next available. And in round robin, so from the name itself, we can able to understand the first connection will go to the first server, second connection will go to the second server, third connection will go to the third server. So whenever any one of a node is going down, it will do a round robin fashion. It will do a circular fashion in the remaining 2 servers. Okay, so the last one is round robin with fallback. So the difference between round robin and the round robin with fallback is like whenever on all the 3 nodes which are going down, the round robin will not direct any connections to the servers. It will send a error to the application. So in this case, like for a round robin with fallback, it will have a primary destination. So it will route all the traffic to the primary destination. So this ensures a high availability functionality. And this is available only for InnoDB cluster and then a replica set. So let us see how MySQL router has evolved with some test cases. Yeah, so the first one is static read and write, which is for a normal like master and slave environments. So in this environment, we have taken 2 master servers and 3 replica servers. So this is going to be our infra. And in this case, we have to manually define what are the nodes are writes and what are the nodes are reads. Yeah. And for each write and read, we can able to define different ports also. And we can able to configure multiple services. So for example, like if you have a multiple application, we can able to define in each service which port it has to use. But so the only thing is like we have to manually give all the destinations here, all the endpoints here. Yes, so these are the limitations of it. So all the configuration we have to give manually, and whenever we want to add any one of a node, or if you want to remove any one of a node, we have to restart the MySQL router, and it affects the MySQL connections definitely from the application. So how MySQL router has evolved to avoid this kind of limitations, we'll see in a InnoDB cluster. That is a case 2. It will do a dynamic read and write. So we'll see that. So in this environment, we have taken 3 node of cluster. So that is node 1, node 2, and node 3. On top of it, we have fixed a MySQL router. Okay, so this was our infra, and we have configured a group replication among it. And InnoDB cluster is basically a group replication technology. And then like how we are configuring a MySQL router on top of it is simple steps only. We can able to use a bootstrap function on this. So what it will do is like with this step itself, it will automatically get the information from the InnoDB cluster, and it will create all the log files, all the config files and everything. So we'll see what are the files it will be creating. So after doing the bootstrap function, it will create all this file. So first one is start.sh. So it is a daemonize process to start the MySQL router to start such a daemonize process. So if we give a stop.sh, it will stop that MySQL router process. And then MySQL router config will have all the details of read, write, split, and what are the ports it is using and what are the destinations it is getting. And then that state.json is a file which is having a primary information of a cluster, like how many nodes are there and what are the IPs. And log directory, like it will hold all the MySQL router log directory. Yeah, so I have shared the config file of MySQL router. So here we can able to see by default for read write, it will use a 6446 port, and by default for read only, it will use a 6447 port. And able to see in the destination itself, it has automatically created, and it will use the destination as a metadata cache from the InnoDB cluster. So for read write, it will use a primary server, and for read only, it will use a secondary server. And where routing strategy is working here is like, so if you can able to see in a read only, it has used a routing strategy of round robin with fallback. So even though like whenever the two secondary nodes are going down, all the traffic will go back to the primary server. So it ensures the high availability. And from 8.0.33, from 8.0.3, so they have introduced a read write split in a single port itself. So it is useful for application wherever like we have both read and write in a same application itself. So it uses a default port of 6450, and destinations will be like it will be taken from the metadata cache of a cluster set, but it includes both primary and secondary, and it uses a routing strategy of round robin fashion. And there are few conditions is there for a read write split. So the first one is like connection sharing must be enabled. So the connection sharing is nothing but the connection pooling. So it will keep a few connections inside the DB to avoid the sudden changes in the connections. And then the protocol should be in a classic mode. It means like we cannot use a X protocol. And destinations should be, we cannot manually give a destinations. Like these are the servers it has to use, like server A, server B, server B. We cannot give it. It is only applicable for a cluster set. So it will take a metadata cache as a reference. So yes, these are the advantages. So first one is like easily configurable. So the bootstrap function is available, and automatic failover based on the InnoDB cluster, it will do automatic failover also. And then native support for a read write split. Yeah, so the case 3 is like dynamic read and write for a replica set. So let me give a short intro about the replica set. So replica set is nothing but a master and slave infra. So in the first case we have seen, we have manually configured a master and slave, and we have manually we have to configure a replication. So in this cluster set, in this replica set, what it will do is like using a MySQL cell admin API, it can able to easily configure a master and a replica. So we can able to configure n number of replicas, and it will be managed by a admin APIs. Okay, so in this environment, I have taken one source and one replica. Okay, so this is the output of after configuring the replica set. You can able to see the first server is online, and it is a primary server, and second server is a secondary server. Okay, so here also like it is similar to MySQL InnoDB cluster. The bootstrap function is also available. So whenever we run a command, like it will automatically get the data from the metadata cache of MySQL admin API. So it will give the information about the InnoDB replica set. What are the servers which are available? So similar to InnoDB cluster set, like here also like we have a read write split which is available. So whenever a secondary node or any replica node is going down, so it will automatically direct the connections to the master node. So using this, we can able to like overcome the case 1 actually. So in the case 1, we have seen a limitations, right? Like we cannot actually like change the IPs and the destinations in fly. So here actually like it can automatically take that version, information from the InnoDB replica set. And yes, so these are the advantages, and the limitations are like manual failover. So unless like in a cluster set, we can able to see it can automatically do a failover in case like node 1 is going down, node 2 can be a primary. But here like we have to do a manual failover using admin API. Yeah, let's see a demo on InnoDB cluster, like how it is actually working.
So here we have taken 3 node of cluster, which we have already set up. And along with that, we have taken a node for MySQL router also. So let us check for the status of InnoDB cluster. Just connecting to the shell. Let us connect to the MySQL. Let's get the cluster details. Yeah. So yes. So here we can able to see there are 3 nodes, 174, 181, and 227. So in the 3 nodes, 1 node is primary and other 2 nodes are secondary. So this one is the first node which you have connected from MySQL shell, and the second node also I'm just checking the status. Yeah, all the nodes are available. So all the nodes are available. So here we are going for the MySQL router node. So we have already installed a MySQL router in it. Have installed the packages. Yes. Uh, Here we have the MySQL router package. So what we are going to do is, like, as we mentioned in that presentation, we are going to create a directory, and we are going to bootstrap it using a MySQL cluster IP. Yes. So it has created MySQL read write connection for the 6446 and read only connection on the port 6447, and read write split will work based on in the 6450. Let us go into that directory which we have created. MySQL router paste. Yeah. So these are the files which it has created automatically. Yeah, let us go into this MySQL configuration. Before going to the MySQL configuration, let me show you that data. So data will have that state file. So this will have the initial information, primary information of cluster. Yeah, so these are the three nodes which are available in the cluster, and it will hold that group replication ID also. Okay, so it has created this MySQL router configuration file automatically. So let me show you that. Yeah. Here, if you see, it has automatically created three tags. One is read write, another one is read only, another one is read write split. Uh, yeah. So read write is based on, like, first available, and read only is based on round robin with fallback, and read write automatic split is based on round robin. So let us see how it is transfer, how it is routing that in connections. Okay, I'm just uh, so 6447 is the port for read only. I'm just going to connect in that. Okay, so before connecting to that, we have to start the router process. We are going to start it. So it has went to the daemon state. Okay. So let us see the log which it has created. Yeah, so here we can able to see the three nodes which has automatically mentioned, like, after we have started that process. So 181 is the read node primary, and other two nodes are secondary. So let us tail this error log. So meanwhile, in this tab, so I'm going to connect to that read only port. So yeah, it has mentioned as a round robin. So 6447 is a port for read only. So read only is, as if you see, 2227 and 174. These two nodes are in read only. So if you mention select host name, at first time it is routing to 227, and at second time it is routing to 174 as mentioned by the round robin fashion with fallback actually. So what we are going to do is like we are going to test out a fallback whether it is working fine or not. So we are going to stop the two secondary nodes. So I am with the secondary node 227. I'm going to stop the replication in it. So I have stopped one secondary node. So if you see in router logs, it has mentioned as this 227 as went actually like down out of the cluster. So the mode actually like went to null. So let us see how the routing works. Yeah. So even if we trigger multiple connection for the read only, it is going only for the available 174. Let us check for fallback. It is working fine or not. Let us stop another secondary node also. Okay. Yeah, another secondary node also stop. Yeah, if you see in the log, so it has mentioned as 2227 and 174. Both the read-only nodes, secondary nodes are down actually. Let us check the connections for the read-only. We'll check whether the fallback is working or not. Yeah. So yes, so it has routed the connection to the 191, which is a primary. So yes, round robin with fallback is working fine. So yeah, similar to this, we can also check the 6450 port. So 6450, we can able to do all the operations, including read and writes, everything we can able to do. So now we are doing a select. So since only this primary node is available, it is going to the primary node. Let us start the two secondary nodes which we have stopped. Okay, I'm starting the second node. Yeah, I'm starting third node. Yeah, so all the nodes are in online now. Now, if we check the read write split in a single port, yeah, so select is working fine. Let us try creating a database, this database. Router. Yeah, it is working fine. And if we give show schemas, yes. So using 6450, we can able to like automatically, we can able to do a read and write operations actually.
So yes, finally, like we will see about load balancer comparisons, like whatever the load balancer which are available for in the market. So the main things is MySQL router and ProxySQL and MaxScale. So the features are like bootstrap function is available both in MySQL router and ProxySQL, and then auto addition of cluster nodes, which is available in router and ProxySQL. And then InnoDB replica set support is only available on the MySQL router. So similar to this auto addition of replica set into a, which is available only on the MySQL router. And then load balancing based on a connection, which is available on all the proxies, all the load balancers. And there are three things which is not available in the MySQL router. So that is like balancing based on the weight, that is not available, and regex based routing, that is still not available. And query catching is available in ProxySQL and MaxSQL, and MySQL router is not having that features. Yeah. Yeah. So with this side, I'm ending the talk.
Thank you for joining us for this insightful session from Mydbops Open Source Database Meetup 16. We hope you found Vignesh's presentation on read-write splitting using MySQL Router valuable. Stay connected with us by subscribing to our channel for more informative content. We invite you to join us at our next event to continue learning and networking with professionals in the field of open source database management.